The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with no time limit.
Super hot fire!
The greatest spectacle in podcast entertainment, Mr. Nestlemania.
That was literally verbal diarrhea. I'm setting the bar awfully low. Titus O'Neil keeps running directly into that bar. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV. You make me very angry.
The man who has a better IQ than you, the awe-inspiring JC.
You should go work for WWE because you'd be so up far up Vince's butt.
No.
Oh, you are such a sucker.
You
You
are.
defend everything, all the bad moves they make.
This is the Jobber Knocker Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Jobber Knocker Podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania alongside with the birthday boy, JC. He hits a number that we're not talking about.
29 plus, baby.
Happy motherfucking
29
birthday.
plus.
Happy motherfucking birthday.
Thank
I
you.
brought in a shit ton of
There's a
cupcakes.
lot of fucking cupcakes here, and if
Yeah.
judging by the state of wrestling overall, we might finish these cupcakes by the end of the show.
I don't know. We're
'Cause
already...
I don't know about you, but I eat my feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
The Heat, we're going to end up being fatties because we're going to get so mad that I'm going to eat 4 cupcakes. There's literally, folks, there are 12 cupcakes. We have destroyed 4 before we've even started.
Yeah.
So this could be a
And it's
fat
9 o'clock in
edition.
the morning.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be a fatty edition of the Jobber Knocker. But it is also the go-home edition into Money in the Bank,
It is
folks.
true.
So of all the crap we've had, there's some good stuff that's happening, and I believe it is shine time. I can't believe I've already eaten chocolate this early. This is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I already have a sugar rush because I've almost finished my coffee and I'm eating cupcakes, and now
God.
you with a sugar rush.
Oh, it's bad.
This is going to be dangerous.
This is
But you know
bad.
what? Like you said, shine time, baby! I will say, Raw, this is one of the better Raws of the last few in terms of entertainment. There's still a lot of diluted bullshit, which we're going to get into, but we're going to focus on the good. And my favorite thing in wrestling this week was the whole Sami Zayn Braun Strowman thing. Even though the idea of it was just kind of like, again, having qualifying matches after, the way they did it kind of made sense with Braun literally threw Sami in a dumpster last week, so Sami's upset about it, so Sami wants something done about it, and Braun, the story of Braun Strowman in his career has always been he gets in his own way in terms of opportunity and blows it, so this made a ton of sense with him. And of course, Sami Zayn, everything about it made sense. Him being like, yeah, let's make it. Was it Falls Count Anywhere, Street Fight, whatever it was? It made sense because it's like, okay, well, we know someone's getting involved. And then when you get to the actual match, the best part of it is Corbin and McIntyre getting involved makes 1,000,000% sense because they get to get in there, take out the biggest threat before the match even starts, replace him with a smaller guy. And oh, by the way, the best touch at the end by my favorite superstar, WWE, Baron Corbin, at the end, throws Sami Zayn back towards Braun after he won the match, being like, you know what? Beat him up. It was like everything about this made sense. It was like, we don't ask for much as wrestling fans, but this, it was entertaining. Everything here meant something. They were fighting for something, and the way it played out made 1,000,000% sense. I thought everyone involved looked good because of it. You can say what you want about Braun, but Braun's going to Braun. We already were like, why is he just in this match? They're clearly they're tearing him down again, which who knows if they're ever going to build him back up. They are going to Saudi Arabia where he tends to be the champion. So
Over there where nobody counts.
yeah, so
He's the
but
champion.
I don't know about you, but I thought this was my favorite part of the week.
I enjoyed it very much. I was very excited that Sami Zayn won. I thought it was just going to be filler main event stuff, and I thought that it was going to be just, here it is, just, and then, of course, I figured, Brah! And then the 3 guys would attack him and whatever. But the fact that he won was a nice little change of pace, which then, boggles my mind and kind of shifts. I'm sure we'll talk about it later in our predictions about who may or may not be winning. But
I have takes. I
Okay.
flushed it out with our boy Cap.
Okay.
We had a long talk
not
on
3 minutes into this thing,
We had
you
a
dropped
long
the
talk
Cap
on
reference.
Tuesday, and we fleshed out a lot of my ideas because, much like I say with you, it's good to flesh it out. It was like a pre-fleshing out of all the ideas. So I got takes, baby, and I'm going to save those for later.
Cap is our pre-producer.
Oh, yeah. Cap said he would love to produce the Jobber Knocker.
Hey, you know what? If this comes out, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, look. I enjoyed Sami Zayn. I'm always excited for Money in the Bank. I thought there were a lot of good stuff. I mean, I'm trying to look through Raw specifically because I thought Raw, in my opinion, was better than SmackDown.
Yes,
So
agreed.
I thought that there was a lot of good stuff there. I actually, it's funny. I actually enjoyed the tag match between The Miz, Roman Reigns, Elias, and Lashley. I thought that the match itself was fine. I thought it was decent, but again, we'll talk more
I
about.
have no comment about that.
No,
at
I
this
know,
time.
but I'm just saying. I wanted to put the actual match itself to me. I actually enjoyed it.
The wrestling's been solid.
Yeah, the wrestling's good, but The rest of it, not so much. More importantly, I think the other thing that I thought was great, and I think you'll probably harp upon this a little bit more, it was the double contract signing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I was. Yeah, go ahead. You
No,
lead it off.
so it was odd because I don't think we've ever seen a double contract
Yep.
signing. I appreciated that. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, it was either yesterday or today. She drew a picture of both of them. It says arrows to both of them. It says McMahon twins, and then
And
it
then
shows
her
my
belts,
twins.
yeah.
So I was just
Great.
like, she's so good at Twitter. She's so good at agitating people in general, and it's great. For somebody like me that said that they thought that they pulled the gas off of Becky, you go overseas and you realize you're dead wrong because the crowd couldn't stop saying Becky Two
There
Belts.
was nowhere for her to go but down, but she's still one of the most popular things. Her and Kofi, as much as they've sizzled a little, it makes sense. They reach their peaks.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're still not one of the most super hot fire things on the show.
They're still fantastic on their credit score. They're still 780. It's just not 800. I mean, it really is still very high. But I watched that and I was watching it very closely going, okay, I'm interested. And I didn't mind the fact that Charlotte and Lacey they didn't throw digs at each other, which I appreciated because I thought that's the way that it was going to be like, don't worry about her, worry about me kind of aspect. But I really enjoyed the fact that it was like, here's somebody that's had a million tries and here's somebody on their first try.
Yep.
And that part right there sold me on that whole experience for Sunday, where I was thinking to myself, I've been talked into this because I'm excited for Lacey Evans. I don't really care about the Charlotte thing because I feel like it is a foregone conclusion.
And she took a backseat in that segment. Like, she
Yeah.
was still part of it, but to me, like, again, I was horrified double contract signing because it's like, oh, God, what they're going to do. But like
Yeah.
you, like, I thought it was good. And we got one of the greatest lines of all time.
You can talk about penis.
Well, honey, you're out here pretend to swing about around something you don't have. I love that line. I was like, yes! I was like, I don't know if she came up with that. I'm sure someone wrote
yeah.
it for her. But like her execution, like that's the thing is you can have these cheesy like preset lines, but if they make sense and you deliver them well, ooh.
The one thing the one thing that did cross my mind is the fact that they went and said that line for somebody like her, and it's not a classy line for a Southern belle.
But I love it.
But it was just,
I love it.
But it was just funny to me because it was like, it was so condescending. It was like, she said, like, in my mind, it was like, bless your heart when you do something stupid. And it was just like, it wasn't classy for her to make a penis reference, but it was funny to me because I was like, good Lord. Like, there was
to me, I think the things like that make sense because a lot of the times when you see someone who preaches something like that,
Yeah.
there's usually some hypocrisy in them
Sure.
the way they do it. Because the reason why they're preaching that hard is because there's some underlying thing. So for that, it's just like I love it, just that little bit. Because when you're a bad guy, I think when you give them a little bit of that, it gives it a little extra. Like, okay, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. It was a great segment. I enjoyed the fact that the Powerbomb was a little botchy, but
I
it was
didn't
what
love
it
that,
is. But
but-
then they held both titles. I liked that.
It's a good look.
It's a good feeling, and she's fighting from the bottom underneath where you need the babyface to fight, and I'm always excited for that because it always means money. And again, Charlotte Flair, pretty much at that HBK status in my mind where it doesn't matter how many times she wins or loses, she's always going to be at the top, the upper echelon anyway.
Yeah.
And she's always going to be where she is. And she's never going to be devalued because they don't devalue her in any way. So,
And honestly, they shouldn't. Will we get sick of her? Of course. But
Sure.
it just comes down to the overexposing of your talent, which, a quick sidebar to SmackDown, because they did also address this on SmackDown. Lacey called Charlotte versus Becky if you want the millionth rerun. I was like, yes! I love it! Yes, because that's what it is. It was just little things like that. Just like, give me a little bit to just be like, because that was overall useless. They didn't need to like showcase that again. I mean, Becky wasn't even on SmackDown, but they still rolled out Charlotte, and we'll probably get to that later. And then having Lacey on, which she at that time was the fourth person that was wild carded over, but then they had a fifth later.
I don't know.
but-
The wild card thing is heat us again. It's going to
Yeah,
heat,
we should
heat
probably
up.
avoid that
But
for
anyway,
now.
avoid it like the plague. Another thing that I thought was very exciting that, again, I know you're going to get on, and this is where we start to sound very similar, but I enjoyed Ricochet versus Corbin.
Match of the week.
It probably was. It really was.
There are other
although that
matches-
fatal four-way,
the fatal
though.
four-way
That
was
fatal
great, but
four-way in
to me,
SmackDown was
like,
pretty damn good.
When I come down to those things, I'll usually, if it's between a one-on-one match or something like that, I'll give it to the one-on-one match because
Sure.
it's a lot harder to do it. And it was just, this is something we hadn't seen. For some reason, it's like kind of Kane was with little guys. Corbin with little guys works really well. Like
He
it's just a good back and
He
forth.
slows them down.
Yeah.
So they're not like a pinball machine, no
Yeah.
tilt. It's like it's literally bing, 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 bing. Like with Ricochet, I was like, By the way, whatever sound
Bing, bing,
effect,
bing, bing.
yeah, whatever sound effects they added for Ricochet at the beginning were so fucking stupid.
I'm glad you're finally with us.
no,
on
but it was
that.
just like, it's just like I didn't notice it very much until on Raw. It was just like, bing, 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 bing. Like it was just. I know Ricochet bullets, like I get it, but it didn't sound right. It just didn't sound like that's not something like. You know when like you sit there and you watch heels beat up a babyface and all of a sudden you hear the glass shatter and everybody's head turns.
Yep.
But nobody's gonna be like, bing bing, oh no, like here comes Ricochet. It's gonna be like, here comes the fucking pinball wizard. Come on down, Gymnastic Jim. You know, that's exactly what it is. But again, it's
his
fun.
song was already good enough. Like that.
Yeah, it was
It's just
fine.
like it always like whenever I hear it, I'm like, yeah, this sounds like a fucking superhero's
Yeah.
coming down. Like it's just so you didn't need to add the little, beep, but it's WWE.
Yeah,
got
they
it
have
over.
to.
Yeah.
They put too many fingers in their pies. It's too many times, but well, whatever. It is what it is. But again, great match. Size differential was great. I enjoyed the fact that he slowed Ricochet down, and everything that Ricochet did looked faster because Baron was, again, slower to the smaller guy, and it was great, and I enjoyed it.
You're
and
burying the lead of that segment, by the way.
Go
Because
ahead.
once again, the many monikers, the many-faced moniker.
How many
man,
more does
Baron
he gonna
Corbin.
get, you know?
I fucking love it. It's just because it's that little extra thing, like where it just adds extra to him, and he just like he basks in it. Oh, it's great. It's so much better than when Shane does it. Even though the Greg Hamilton thing's great, it's just like for Corbin,
Yes.
it's just like it's so fitting, and it gives him that extra like layer. I love the way they're building him right now. Probably just to feed him to Seth, but you know what? I'm okay with it because the more Corbin in our lives, the better. Bask in the glory of his heat.
Pretty sure you just said something about, the other guy in NXT. This is basketball.
Which I think he's just returning. So make sure when the NXT and NXT UK articles come up, you read them along with 205 Live on JobberKnocker.com.
Yes.
There's a plug.
What a plug.
Early plugs. We're plugging.
We're plugging away. We're
Yeah.
butt plugging. Anyway, look.
Did you say we're butt plugging?
Sure, whatever I said. Spark plug. Anyway, anything else on Raw or SmackDown that you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Are we getting to the part that I have to lose my mind?
Well, okay. So we'll do a thing just, fire and desire. Mandy with a great pre-match promo as I walked down.
boy.
Sonya contributed a little bit. Then in the match, Mandy was absolutely dominating, then gave Sonya a chance, and Sonya blew the tag. She hesitated, giving Asuka enough time to catch Mandy by, just not expected. They won with a little crazy roll-up. But you know what? Great showing. # always in the shine. I figured I'd throw that in there because, that was great. And I'm sure you agree because you are # Mandy in the bank. Your prediction's already in, etched in stone.
Even if I change it, it's
Can't
still
change
in.
it. You already picked it. You're
I
not going to
did.
change it because you're going to stand by your word because you know that the golden rose, you want to kiss the rose.
I'm going to stand by my man, D,
Oh, I like this.
as I'm eating a cupcake. This is my third cupcake so
Yeah,
far.
so he's taking a bite of a cupcake. So I'm going to transition us into what it's going to be. We're going to enter into Planet Nestle.
Yeah. You want to see the Twilight Zone?
The Firefly Funhouse, they started to, give us the next level of it. It was creepy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
That mask was creepy. I'm still digging these vignettes. They're amazing, and I know you're about to get deeper into it, but again, my concern with this remains the same as how is this going to translate to the ring? I still feel the same way about that, especially with something like this, because with the special effects and the editing, it looks fucking amazing. But when you come out in a live arena, I'm still concerned. But Bray Wyatt, as we know, is extremely talented. We're all big fans of him, especially our boy Ben. I know he's very happy because, Sheamus is injured. He gets Bray Wyatt back, though. So
Sheamus
saving
might
him.
be gone forever, by the way. I'm sorry, Ben.
Him and Drew McIntyre are denying that heavily.
Okay.
I think he's just injured. He said before he retires he wants that Intercontinental title to finish off his whatever they call it.
What a belt mark.
I mean, hey, they all have fucking display cases. He has a missing one. I don't blame
Go
him.
buy a replica. Pretend you want it. I
but
don't care.
he wants to hold it, fella. But we're back to we're going to the Fella Firefly Funhouse of Fella Twins.
Oh,
But yeah,
boy.
I think it's time to officially enter Planet Nestle, and it's time for me to eat a cupcake.
Yes. Holy shit. You guys are gonna think I'm fucking weird. So as we know, I've been watching everything very, 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 very intently. You're gonna take it off so you can smush. What a chooch. All right. So anyway, here it is. So there were a lot of things going through my brain. First off, I like the difference of what it looks like at the very end. You want to see my secret, what I've been working on, what I've been trying to harness. So, of course, the first thing you notice is that mask. Brought to you by Tom Savini, a man that does a lot of awesome special effects work, a man that have done Day of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, all sorts of great stuff, zombie effects, pretty much any movie in the horror genre that you've seen. By the way, if you want something very cool, there is an interview out there with the director. This is how far the weeds I'm going, folks. Go in there, and there's a director podcast interview with Justin LeBar about he is the guy that films these vignettes. He couldn't give away a lot of information, but he gives a little insight into why Bray Wyatt is a genius. And it's very fascinating to me. It's about a 10, 15-minute interview. Go check that out. I'm going to get back into it. The mask, right? The mask, I sat there and went, that mask looks awfully familiar. That mask looks like something I know. So, you know what that mask looks like to me, Joshua? Who the fuck is Josh? I know. Joshua. That mask, excuse me.
masked?
The mask that is masked. This mask right here, right? So I went into myself and I went, this mask looks familiar, yeah. Yeah, it looks real familiar. And I'm a Batman fan, all right? So
You don't say.
yeah, and in a comic book series in Batman, the Joker cuts his face off and wears it later on as a mask. So I thought to myself, that's too peculiar. That seems too similar. Then I did some digging. And I said to myself, the Joker didn't cut his face off. As I looked down and I looked more into the information, he had a man cut off his face for him. Do you know what the name of that man was, Josh?
I do not. Who the fuck is Josh?
Who the fuck is Josh? That man that made that mask, his name was the Doll Maker. Now, interesting.
Ooh.
What is Bray Wyatt doing? What is he surrounded
Playing
by?
with dolls!
He's playing with dolls!
The Firefly Doll Funhouse.
Exactly. That right there bothered me. And then I went a little bit deeper, I guess is the best way to say it. Best way to say it is that I went into what the symbolization of this whole thing is. And apparently he wore the mask, the Joker wore the mask, to tell people, this is what I'm doing, Batman. There are no more lies, only truths. The mask is the true self, is what he's saying. So really, what the facade of the Pee Wee Herman thing isn't really Bray Wyatt, but the mask truly is the person. So I'm just interested in like how that'll go. And it's the Fireflies as a facade versus this monster is the real person. That's part one.
Oh my God,
Then,
there's more.
There's more. So then I got into something that I think is very interesting. If you're listening to this watching this last one, you watch very carefully and they slow down the song Twinkle Twinkle
Little Star.
Little Star. Now, you think to yourself, here's a lullaby that you sing your kids. And I've always thought to myself, JC, you know, kids singing songs like that are always in horror movies. And it's very creepy. Mm-hmm. Every single time it's creepy. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it creepy? Why was that particular song in this thing? So I went in and I started researching Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Yeah, here it goes, folks. Hold on. I'm not even exaggerating. By the way, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, this is even more creepy, has the same song music as ABC, when you sing ABCs,
Yep.
as well as Baa Baa Black Sheep. Interesting enough, another layer, Baa Baa Black Sheep, the sheep of what the mask he used to wear.
Oh my God.
So that could be a callback as well. And here's the thing that drives me up a fucking wall. And this is where I'm going to get a little nuts, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse as I go on. If you play Twinkle Twinkle Star backwards, there is an actual line, and it's creepy. It's on YouTube. Check it out. They actually have a clip of playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star backwards, and there's a kid's voice singing and saying, "There is no Allah," which means there is no God. I reached a little bit deeper into the bag. And this is where it gets good, right? There is a theory that by playing it backwards, there is some way to brainwash your children into believing that there is no God and that they should be doing certain things a certain way. There's also a connection to purgatory. So I thought to myself, connection to purgatory. Seems like the funhouse could be purgatory. And if you think about it, last week, there were kids who looked brainwashed. Maybe Twinkle Twinkle Little Star means he's going to brainwash not only children, but the entire masses, JC. This is very, very weird stuff, right? We're getting into, this is like Planet Fluffluga, like this is the Twilight Zone thing. And I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be it.
This is fucking great. This
It is not it.
This is literally
This
like,
is not it.
You get to the forum on the internet and you just keep clicking
Oh,
and
no.
clicking, and you're just in this
Savior.
like black hole.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
This is Black Hole. This is Detective Nessel. This is for our boy the doctor, because he was saying I need more Detective Nestle, not Pikachu. So special shout out to
If
our
you
boy.
two work together,
Oh
like,
my god.
whew.
Oh my god. So then, this is where my wife walks in and goes, "You got to cut the shit out," because she's like, "You got to
gotta
stop.
eat, you gotta shower, you
yeah,
gotta get to
seriously,
work."
I am awful." So then this is the part that really I think is really telling. This is the creme de la creme of the Firefly Funhouse. This is where I get a little nuts, folks.
A little.
Yeah, a little nuts. So here I go. By accident, I typed in Google search engine. I was typing in Yowie Wowie. But I only typed in Yowie. Interestingly enough. Did you know, JC?
I did not. No matter what you
That-
say, I know I did not know.
Did you know that Yowie is actually folklore for a creature and monster in Australia?
Ooh.
It is, and this is what I've got. So bear with me. It is an Australian legend that is a hairy creature, almost ape-like, bigger than most humans,
Okay.
that resembles a man, but is not a man, who wears long white hair. And what did Bray kind of change his color to? A blondish white hair kind of monster. He's essentially a version of Sasquatch, missing links, just like a very, very canine, ape-like creature that preys on not only children, here's my favorite part, but has always planned to mutilate pets. And what was mutilated last
rabbit!
week?
The rabbit!
The rabbit was mutilated last week.
I thought he was dead, but they patched him up
They
pretty
patched him up because of his healing powers. So I thought to myself, all of this stuff together, JC, is not a coincidence. It cannot be.
well. Wow.
Here it is, though. Yowie Wowie is a phrase they use in Australia because of this monster. They call them Yowie Wowies sometimes. So I think to myself, this guy has probably researched so many things to pluck from all these different things. And I went down the rabbit hole, literally down the rabbit hole. And I thought to myself, that's it for now. But there's more. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And when it's over, I will be the first one to crack this case. Look it up. Google it. It's there.
I can't believe. Not only did you spend all this time, but you actually found like things.
Oh, yeah. It's there. I'm not nuts. I'm not nuts. All of this makes sense. The mask from Batman. He's an ape-like creature. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's all connected. A doll maker with dolls who also brainwashes children. It all makes sense.
Whew, I knew
I'm telling you.
I knew you had something in store, but
Oh my
that was
God.
next level.
Yes. Detective Nestle is on the motherfucking case. Nothing gets by me.
Whew. I mean, I don't even know where to go from there. You spelled it out.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
Because you're not going to spend the time that I did on it.
Oh, I mean, you made a very compelling case.
Yeah, I know. I lost a lot of sleep
Yowie
over it.
wowie.
Every time you hear Yowie Wowie now, you're going to think, here's this fucking ape-like creature with long white hair who does all these things. Not to even mention, he looks like the dude from Sanity with the new gimmick. He looks like Alexander Wolf, which is why he probably got cut to NXT. They look too similar.
Sure.
The thought that could happen. I think you look too similar. Go back to NXT. It could happen.
I think it was just like, oh, you're from there originally. You used to be in a faction with Walter and Marcel Bartel, so we're gonna put you back in a faction with them. Pretty good stuff going on over there too. So
Check it out.
yeah,
Yowies.
that's the real deal. B Cox is on the case. That case.
Sure. Now you get it. Now I got to give Brandon a shout out too.
You don't like me giving people shout outs?
I do. But what about the Joe Stopper?
The Joe Stopper at 205 Live. I already said it. At Joe Pollock 47.
There you go.
NXT at TJ of the JK.
There you go. Get them all the network,
Yeah.
guys. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've already lost my brain cells on this.
Yeah, that was a deep dive.
Oh yeah. That's about a lot of time that I'll never get back.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the actual time, and then I thought to myself that'd be embarrassing.
Oh no,
You can venture a guess.
we got the gist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's there.
Yeah.
You gonna go back to the heat, to the shine now?
I have like one more thing.
Fine.
I mean, even though I keep forgetting it's a feud because of the wild card, I do dig the KO Kofi stuff. Like overall, like I dig those two together. I honestly wish we had more and it wasn't so fucking convoluted. But I mean, that's like my biggest hate of the week. So, do you have anything else?
I'm looking to see if there's anything on Raw that I enjoyed that I did not get to see.
Nope.
I didn't even get a chance to
Don't
say
care.
anything.
So the biggest issue remains with this wild card bullshit.
Wild card, bitches.
Is it's just like everything is so convoluted. It's hard to keep straight in the continuity. Like that's why for me, even though I love The Miz, I love Roman Reigns, like stuff's interesting. Like I keep forgetting what the actual feuds are. Like I forgot that Roman Reigns was facing Elias. Like, I completely forgot that was a match. Just like last week, I forgot that Kofi and KO were a match, which I shouldn't because I just said that's a really interesting feud to me. But this wild card thing is just like muddied the waters so much that I just don't know what's going on. It's like I'm trying to look to see, but like even with goggles, like I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You wear goggles?
If I'm underwater, if you want to see sometimes.
But you're not are you underwater while watching Raw SmackDown?
Well, I'm just saying it's like traveling through water. Like usually it should be clear, but it's all muddy, so you can't see.
The visual of this is not lost on me.
Yeah, I'm in a fucking puddle with the fucking goggles on, 2-foot puddle, and I'm just,
You're in a puddle.
flapping around like a fish.
Out of water. You're in a puddle.
Yeah, but it's technically water. It's just very shallow water because, WWE's creative storylines are very shallow.
Can we
So
talk
it's not a very deep pool for me to dive into. Boom!
Josh can't swim. Who the fuck is
Actually,
Josh?
He can. I don't know about JC. Actually, I am JC.
JC walks on water, doesn't he?
Just,
I'm wondering.
I've heard that.
I've heard that. Unless it's JC Chazé. That's a reference way, way back. Anyway, look. So here's the thing here's what I believe is the most egregious penalty of the wild card, and pretty much the entire week. So we have The Miz do Miz TV with Roman Reigns, and essentially get interrupted by Shane McMahon and whatever else is going on Raw. Then we get to SmackDown, where I believe the first 7 minutes of this thing is Roman Reigns talking to The Miz.
Reversed it. It was like Roman Reigns called out The Miz. Like
It's the same first 7 minutes. I went,
rerun.
this is a live action rerun. There wasn't a recap for this. There was an actual rerun of it. And then, of course, then they had the 4 guys come down, and of course, that's fine. Like, I don't mind that part of the stable. And then the Usos came
What
out.
fucking show are the Usos on?
Right.
They don't even appear on Raw. They appear on SmackDown. They're fighting for the SmackDown tag team titles at fucking Money in the Bank.
Are they really?
Yeah, that's the pre-show match.
Ugh.
What the fuck are we doing?
Who's on first? I don't know.
Bad.
It's bad. But I just there's so much about this show that just drove, I was super bummed about most of the stuff on SmackDown. I could not for the life of me get done with this faster. I have legitimately scratched my head on SmackDown and went, what the fuck am I watching? The 3-on-4 match,
That was useless.
it didn't do anything. It didn't raise any stakes.
No, it was filler.
It didn't make any sense to me.
Convoluted filler.
It was just here's a really good match, which again was kind of sloppy at some points as well. And that's fine. It is what it is. But there's just no stakes to it. And literally it's The Miz can't come out. Then the second the match is over, the Miz comes running down whoop, 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 without a chair, or with a chair rather, and then just comes sliding in and comes in like a house of fire, and all that stuff's fine. But again, it's we've already got your money. We don't care. And it's just there's no story. It's you blow your load 3 weeks ahead of time. And it's just so it's like a girl coming up to you and going, I'm ready to go again. And you're like, I'm going to need some Gatorade, maybe 20 minutes, and then I'll be ready to go.
No, why? Because you're getting back to my point. You need some fucking foreplay,
Yeah.
bro. You don't want to just get into it. I'm looking
Preheat the oven!
Yeah, I'm looking at Money in the Bank, and it's just, the ladder matches I'm excited for, but, there's no build to those matches whatsoever. I
None.
keep forgetting who's in it. The only match that, I'm excited for, Lacey Becky, been a good build. Kofi, KO, they've tried not to build it, but, I'm excited for it.
Sure.
Beyond that, these other matches, I don't give a shit, because there's no actual build, because it's more about this wild card, and they're going, it's something that one of my favorite TV shows is doing. Instead of having a good story, they're just going for that shock value, which surface level as you watch is great. But the minute you think about it for a second, it's well, what are we doing? That sucks.
Yeah.
And it's just an empty feeling. It's like you can have these cool flashy things, but if there's no like feeling behind it, like what does it do? It was good for like that literal moment, and that's it. That's it. After that, it's just like you kind of regret it, you know? They're just going for that quick moment, but they're not letting anything like resonate or have any consistency or having anything with any depth. There's no depth to any of this shit.
Oh, I don't disagree.
And it hurts because Money in the Bank is my favorite pay-per-view every year. That and the Royal Rumble to look forward to. But it's just they're like, it'll be fine. But we're just going to try flashy, shiny object. Oh, shiny thing. Whoa, Kabuki Warrior. Shiny thing. Rerun here, rerun there. You get Roman Reigns. Everyone gets Roman Reigns. Yeah, by the way, they rerun the packages.
Oh, that was rough. That was
Roman Reigns thing. You got fucking Charlotte tossing the packages. That is the most awkward fucking thing in the world. Having superstars toss like, let's take a look. No, they're not fucking hosts. Stop it.
She did feel like Vanna White out there. I was
She's
going to
not the
ask her
only
to
one
buy
to
a
do it.
vowel. It was weird.
They've had Owens do it. They have everyone do it. It's fucking awkward.
But it was weird to me because it was like, so Charlotte comes out and does this whole thing where she does the like, she does her strut, the woo, the whole thing. And then, of course, she throws this package was probably 3 or 4 minutes long. And here's the other thing.
32X.
It was 32X for me, right? And it was just, I actually put in here, package 32X, because there were so many things on here. Every time there's a recap, I fast forward because I don't care. I watch every week, and I get that the packages aren't for me. They're for people that are casual who come in and don't know things.
Well, here's the thing about the packages. You know when I enjoy the packages and like watching them? When they're right before the match.
Exactly.
Because it gets you hyped for that match. And it's like a previously on,
Yeah.
but like a really well done because WWE's fucking editing staff is through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
So, but like just throw it in the middle of SmackDown when you could, have, someone who's not on the show maybe get some time so we're familiar with more characters. It's a waste of time.
They have to look at wrestling shows that they produce. And here's where someone's going to literally tell me, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's somebody in the WWE office or somebody that's been wrestling forever, a promoter. I don't give a shit what you say. You're going to say, this kid's a mark. This kid has no idea what he's doing. And maybe I don't. But here's
Guess what? That's your fucking fan base.
Right.
So
But here's the thing.
if they don't like it and they're not watching. You're in trouble.
Here's the thing that I would subscribe to is all you have to do is treat your wrestling show in the now. Treat it as if it's, I don't know, what I'm actually watching. You don't see other shows go and do a recap in the middle of a show. They don't. Create a Monday Night Raw where there's no recaps, no packages. Just show me action, backstage, in the ring, stuff, whatever. You got to throw to if it's a package that somebody did for, Boys and Girls Club or Cancer Survivor or whatever.
If it's coming soon.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
And honestly, like, the things that don't bother me as much is if, like, you have, like, how they have those sponsored replays?
Yeah.
If it's, like, 3 weeks ago this happened, that's why this match. That is fine.
Sure.
Because that's just a quick thing. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's a transition. But, like, when you're just being, like, an entire segment is, like, we're just going to show a 5-minute package about Seth Rollins. And then the next break is, like, we're going to have a 5-minute package of Charlotte and Becky. It's like, no.
Here's what I've finally equated WWE to, and it's not Walk for Elias. I don't have any crazy ass thoughtful jingle here where it's going to say WWE stands for something. But this is what I will say. Here is an easy question for anybody to answer. When you're in a television show and you're watching it and you're really ingrained in it, what are the worst episodes most of the times that you're watching? It's always that highlight reel clip show.
Yeah.
That remember when we did this? Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, that's the worst one, and that's when they run out of ideas. Every single week, we get a clip show. We get a highlight reel show and some wrestling involved in it. It should be 95% entertainment wrestling in front of you. Here's the Firefly Funhouse.
Should be pushing things forward.
The Firefly Funhouse, God. All these things back there, I don't care whatever promos you want to do, coming soon, whatever. Do all that stuff. But don't lead me down a recap, highlight crap. Like, don't do it. And they're going to say, we've got to have more subscribers to the network. We've got to have more people getting the pay-per-view. But you know what the answer is here,
Have better
folks?
content.
Yes. That's the fucking problem. That's what drives me fucking bananas. I do not want to remember something that I don't need to remember. That has no bearing to me.
Literally something we saw last week.
Yeah, or yesterday.
Yeah,
they literally recapped yesterday.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
It is fucking painful.
They can't get out of their own way. They've become a marketing company instead of a live action thriller drama comedy thing that they used to do.
You know what the best way to sell your product is to show off your fucking product?
Yeah.
You know how the best way to make people stars is fucking use your depth. Like, that's the thing, is a guy like Cedric Alexander or a guy like Cesaro, which we're going to get to in a little bit, like, they don't need to come out and look dominant. Like, for those guys, it's like, put them in a competitive match with the top stars and, like, it's just like what you kind of do with Kofi. You put him in a competitive setting with a top star. They put on a really good match where even though Kofi loses, it's like, I really enjoy watching him. So someday, if you pull the trigger, people are ready for it.
Yeah.
Like, if they someday pull the trigger on Cesaro, people are ready for it because they've let him, whether it was even, honestly, what really put him on the map was we already knew he was good, but the next level shit was when he went down to NXT and feuded with Sami Zayn. That's when people were like, I want Cesaro to be a world champion.
Yeah.
And he had to go down to the quote-unquote at the time, I don't think it's like that anymore, but at the time, the quote-unquote minor leagues to be able to showcase what he can do. Why not fucking do that on your week-to-week programming? It's compelling. It is compelling. And that's how you sell your product, is to show how many vast things. Because look, there can be 6 of us that watch the same thing, and there'd be like 30 different performers. We could each have a different favorite performer. Most people hate Baron Corbin. I love Baron Corbin, and most people, the Jobberknocker, are with me now. But most people who watch it don't like him. But that means it's not for them. He's for me.
Sure.
He's mine. He is my fucking guy. But that's
He's
the thing.
mine.
That's the thing about wrestling, which is so beautiful about it. You have all these different characters. There are people who love each and every one of them for different reasons. That's what makes it special. So showcase that off. Because look at the Rob. Know how we have a million tag teams, and I had all these different things going with the Viking Experience, Raiders, whatever the fuck they're called. You actually have the champions. The Revival had a quick promo, but the Usos aren't even on it. You have all these teams. There was none of that on Raw because they had all this convoluted wild card bullshit. Same thing on SmackDown. You have all these great single stars that aren't being used. It's because you have to fucking convolute it with Roman Miz again and Charlotte fucking shit again. It's just like fucking repeats of what you already had.
I know.
Give me strength.
Lord, give me strength. Here's something that's a head scratcher. We're going to move on. Nikki Cross is with Alexa Bliss. I don't necessarily hate this. I don't like it, though. And it's odd to me where it's like she's wearing makeup now.
She's a therapist.
Sure.
That's what I took out of it.
It's just odd. It's just like, I didn't even know anybody noticed me. Like, when did Nikki Cross become Eeyore? So when did she start caring what people thought of her? Her entire character was, don't go near her. She has rabies. And now it's like, I'm domesticated. And I'm sitting here.
Well, I will say this, because she's kind of been on Twitter like the last 2 weeks, like teasing this.
Nobody
being like, I need to
knows.
get along better with people, you know? So,
Stupid.
this, in terms of what I saw on Monday, yeah, didn't love it, didn't do anything for me. But I will say this. I've pretty clear. Nikki Cross isn't my favorite. I think she's very talented, but just, not one of my favorites, because that's just the way it is. But a lot of people really love her. And she's actually being used now, and they clearly have a plan for her. So, hey, she got to be on a backstage segment with Alexa Bliss, one of the most popular superstars. She got to be in a match with the 3 other members of Money in the Bank, and she won. Like, those are all positives for her.
Sure, absolutely.
And they have some story going her with, I think it's going to be her and Alexa, is some sort of story where I think whether it's the same character she was before or something else, like, she's morphing into something and they're using it. So I think that is reassuring in terms of it. But again, just like you, yeah, it was kind of weird because, again, great things happen on social media, but if you're not on social media and just watching, you don't know what's going on. If anything, those are the things you should be recapping.
Yeah.
Like, we just saw Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. Well, here's a tweet she had last week where, saying that, that's more of like that.
That's
Like
next level
recapping
stuff, yeah.
what happened something off screen
Sure.
than recapping what happened on screen. Because the people who are watching the show, like, they're watching the show, but not everyone's on social media.
Mm-hmm. Not everybody's going to WWE.com to watch the
Exactly.
exclusives or Facebook or YouTube.
We don't even
whatever.
see them all, and we go on more than not.
Yeah,
with our
it's
Twitter
true.
accounts.
And most of the stuff they're doing outside of the actual shows
It's
is
very
better.
fucking
It's
good.
good. So,
It's
yeah.
elite content.
It is elite. Nice.
Elite.
The elite. All right.
We'll
anyway,
talk about that later.
I'm sure that way, Cap can pull off the exit early.
Hey, he might be in AEW. Who knows?
Who knows? It's on TNT. It's legit
Yeah.
now. So, anything else that's got you hot and bothered?
Well, do we want to talk about the Kabuki Warriors?
Oh God.
This was a big one of those things where I was just like, eh?
Yeah.
What?
Well, the one
Huh?
I was saying in our thread between the Jobberknocker people, I was saying the Kabuki thing obviously is a callback to Bruce Pritchard thing where he always says everything looks a little Kabuki-ish, which is again something that like I don't mind, but Kabuki theater is very specific, and this is the part where it's like Kabuki Warriors is basically, you might as well have said the Japanese Warriors because that's the way they're looking at it. And I'm not saying that it's not. It's okay on a surface level, but in a deeper level, it's not okay. It's just not okay because there's nothing kabuki about it. They're just like, it sounds cool and it's a name. And you could tell the minute Paige said it, it was like, said it, pause, edited cheer, and then it was like Asuka and Kairi going like, yeah, I'm here. I'm a thing. Yeah. And it's just like, nobody cared. And Kabuki Warriors, if they were truly Kabuki, they would actually have a particular dance theme that would go together with it. They're not going to go the route of getting them both looking the same, Kabuki face paint. They're not going to do any makeup or any transition. Paige is not. If Paige came out with makeup and a kimono, I'm telling you right now, that'd be great. It ain't going to happen. If they came out with swords, that'd be amazing. But they're not going to do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing for this tag team. As much as I do love the pairing, having them get on the same page aesthetically is hard because Kairi Sane's like pirate gimmick. Like, when you say it out loud, it sounds dumb, but seeing it, it is fucking perfect for her. Like, it works and she sells it. And Asuka, like, yeah, she's more down that road, but they're just like, they're two such unique characters that literally just got thrown together, which it's hard. And the things with the names is I hate when they just give something a name when you're not familiar. Names have to kind of come like the name's like the last thing to come, I feel like, because what needs to come first is understand who they are. If anyone needs video packages, it's these two.
It's a connection. You need to make a connection with each other.
There has to be something, because it's like you're just saying this, and like, I mean, I'm sure Kabuki was the most Googled thing during SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I would have to look at it because I knew it, like what it was for the most part, but I wanted to know the specific definition so I could really wrap my head around it. And it just was like kind of like, well, that's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I get it, but it's just it doesn't. You can't just give something a name. Something has to be that, and then it becomes a name because of that.
Right.
Like doesn't just happen. Like names they're earned, and it's just this one. If they're not earned, it doesn't make sense. So it's better. Again, next week they might be the Kabuki Experience. So,
but the thing is like it's just somebody going, here's a Japanese thing I know, and it just like, look here. I'll give you an actual example of what Kabuki theater looks like. Like, it's not. And I know you guys can't see this.
It's like the performance art of like singing, dancing. It's like that type
but nobody's
of thing.
going to literally dress their face in white makeup and red lines. Like, nobody's going to do that.
Again, Asuka's
no one's going to show up in a
little
geisha.
Close to that, and she does do like the dances when she comes out. But her and Kairi, it doesn't fit there yet. By the way, whenever I have to say her name, it's Kairi, right? I always say Kairi because I'm so used to the little prick I have to deal with in my job. Is it Kairi or Kari?
I think it's Kairi.
Okay. It just bothers me because I love Kairi Sane. Kyrie Irving's fucking pain in the ass. So whenever I say Kyrie, it's just like, but it's like, I need Adventure Time. Da, na, 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 na. By the way, the fucking mashup this week was cringe for me. It's like, da, na, na, da, na. It's like, the going back and forth, it's like literally, it's like putting them together. It's like the total opposites.
But we're talking about it though, so they're clearly doing something.
No, I know it, but there's got to be a cleaner way to make the theme. Like, I think you start with Asuka and then you just keep it Kyrie, because going back and forth, it's just like, ugh. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. Overall, the aesthetics, the presentation, everything about them needs work, which is a shame because in Reign, like, they're going to be very good. Like, when they eventually get the Iconics, which I assume is on the way after Money in the Bank.
I don't care about those tag titles. And the fact that it's crazy that they're establishing that team instead of the Iconics.
Well, the Iconics are the champions.
They should literally still be fighting tomato cans. That was hilarious. Like, having those two fight tomato cans, instead of them sounding like two yippy dogs on commentary, when there's already 3 people, and now it's 5 people jockeying for position, I have to turn it off.
Well, we talked about it off air. It's like it's the will they, won't they, and commitment. It's like Vince literally, you say it all the time, like he has a bunch of toys in the toy box. He's playing with a few, but then for a few weeks, he just kind of throws them down to the bottom and grabs some other ones, and he just forgets about those, even though they were starting to build something. That's what is killing the product more than anything, is the lack of consistency in storylines, in the characters, in presentation, and like, you can't have something that's so inconsistent because it's hard to follow. Like, whether it's a TV show, whether it's like, it's just anything like this that is a performance, that is entertainment. Like, there has to be some sort of consistency, or else it's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And that is the thing that is killing it more than anything, is the lack of consistency in stories and characters. And it's just, we need to understand. Like, we want to understand. We're here, we're still watching, even though it sucks. That tells you that we really want this. Just fucking give us something. Something. But whatever. Their priorities are in different places, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Something else that I'm not really excited about. Rey Mysterio dropped the reference that Dominic is training with the WWE. That's all.
Okay. I don't have
Just
much
wanted to
to
throw
add
that out there.
No.
That was a throwaway line in a promo. But, I don't want to mark it down today. May 15th, 2019. Adam, Nestlemania is not looking forward to what comes next.
Yeah, I will say I'm weary of it, but, again.
It's a throwaway
It's one
line
of
and
those
hoping
things-
it never happens, but you never
Yeah,
know.
but
They're not giving that kid camera time just because he
it
looks
makes
pretty.
sense. Everything about it, there's a trail
stinks.
here. There's
It
a trail
stinks.
here for a good detective to find.
Yes, there is, sir. Yes, there is. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Merci. Anything else?
No.
There's so much involvement in this week that I'm just kind of like, ugh. Drives me fucking nuts. I will say very quickly that Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. I know this is not heat, but that Fatal 4-Way to me was, woo, doggy. It was worth it. Not so much the end of it, but, it was fun.
For
Is what
great
it is.
competitors, that's the thing. Like, the Money in the Bank matches should be
Yeah.
lit.
I mean,
lit AF. I don't know how I'm going to watch this week because the Game of Thrones finale's during it. So
Yeah.
I might start Money in the Bank, then Game of Thrones, then watch the end, and then rewatch what I missed later. But
here, but
yowie wowie, it should be a good match.
Australian Sasquatch, isn't it going to be fun? Apparently. Look, the one thing that bothered me about the Fatal 4-Way is I was literally in my head watching the match. I could name everybody in the match, obviously, and then I thought to myself, okay, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and then I was like, the Mac, and I forgot Ricochet. And then he ran out, and I was like, oh, thank God. I forgot it was Ricochet, because I was like, there's too many heels. It's got to be, and I went in my head, I'm
His
like,
spots in that match are going to be
him and
amazing.
I guarantee you, him and Ali are going to do like
Oh my
stereo
God. Him,
stuff.
Ali, Andrade, like Finn, it's going to be like fucking ridiculous.
But again,
And they're all going to look great with Corbin because Corbin is the man that unleashes the greatness of the little guys.
all right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm gonna roll into Hope Town.
Glorious! Oh yeah, no Robert Roode this week. I just realized that.
He 2 weeks
Again,
in a row, right?
no consistency.
You gotta hope it up, boy, so I don't blow it this week.
Do you have one?
You just said you had one.
I mean, I do, but I didn't want to use it, but I'm going to use it anyways. Okay, so my hope,
fuck's sake.
obviously this week, Sami Zayn. I want Sami Zayn to win the Men's Money in the Bank. Obviously as a Baron Corbin guy, I'd love it to be Baron Corbin. But I was fleshing out with our boy Cap. Gets a second shout out of the show. But we were
Jesus
talking
Christ.
about like Money in the Bank, and we've both been the whole time like McIntyre. Makes sense for McIntyre. But then I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? This storyline with Sami Zayn, I don't think it's something they just came up with. Because I think the way it's done is the way his character has been. It's just such a different thing. And they've clearly, by throwing him on SmackDown, is showing that they're trying to expose him to us a little more, that they're really taking care into what he's doing, and it's clearly working. So he gets into Money in the Bank. And when you think about the best Money in the Bank winners, who are they? They're guys who don't necessarily need to be involved in something to do it, but what has Sami Zayn been doing for a month? He hasn't really been involved in a feud to Braun Strowman, he's just been coming out and feuding with the crowd. Which as a Money in the Bank guy, you want it to be, the ideal situation is a heel that is a very, good promo, because they're going to have to do a lot of that till they win, and someone who, can't just, have a match. They're just not going to be like Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins. The best way to integrate him into that main event picture is through Money in the Bank. Because last year, like we said at the time, Braun Strowman didn't need it. Braun Strowman won a Universal title match, he'd get one. He doesn't need the briefcase to do it. Whereas Sami Zayn, to get that opportunity, yeah, he needs the briefcase. And he's a guy that I could see carrying it all the way to December. And, you could go through the champions. Like, McIntyre could beat Seth in 2 months for it. Then AJ could beat McIntyre for it 2 months later. And then, eventually Sami Zayn could cash in on AJ Styles. And there's your feud. That's a great feud rolling into the new year to get us going. So, and by then, Sami could be really built up. I mean, I'm sure they'll have him lose a lot because that's what they do with them. But I was like, you know what? Not only is that going to be my new pick for Money in the Bank, spoiler for the predictions,
Ooh.
that is also my hope for who wins Money in the Bank.
Wow.
Because you've been reading all these articles about how WWE really wants to make that next level star for it, and Sami Zayn has it. He's one of those guys where, you look at him and you're like, what? But then you watch him perform, and he's electric. He's electric in the ring, out of the ring, backstage, no matter what you have him doing. Even when he's doing bad shit like that terrible Bobby Lashley feud, his part in it, for the most part, what he was being asked to do, he was executing it. He's very Miz-like in that. He's very Daniel Bryan-like in that. Two of the more successful transitions into world champions from Money in the Bank that we've ever had. Sami Zayn is that type of player. And his heel persona right now is top notch. So I think he should and will win the 2019 Men's Money in the Bank. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC hopes come true. There you go.
My hope. I thought about it.
Oh, you did? That's good. It's usually
Yeah,
good.
it's a thing.
It's a good start.
And you brought up something earlier in the program that I think is worth expanding on.
Ooh, I like that. Do I get an assist?
Sure.
Yay!
You're the alley to my oops. Anyway, I don't know why you laughed at that. So look, this is when I'm 3 cupcakes deep. I don't drink. Look, I'm on a sugar high, now I'm crashed. Look, so essentially I was thinking to myself, Yowie Wowie, because he's still in my brain. He's got a lot of space up in this old noggin case. And I thought, here's my hope, plain and simple. As I've been deep diving into this entire persona, I thought to myself, how are they going to translate over to wrestling?
Ooh.
How are they going to make this work? I say we go a different way. I say we don't let him wrestle. I say we translate over into little itty-bitty segments every single week, where now he's slightly different but similar, because what we know works is the Firefly Fun House. I did it. And that works when he wants to be on screen and be like, hi, everybody, I'm here doing stuff. But then you can switch it into, here's Nightmare, you know? And I thought about this very much, and I was kind of influenced by what Bully Ray had said on his podcast, even though I don't like Bully Ray. I agree in this aspect of it is having Bray wrestle right away pretty much makes no sense.
Yes.
So here's my hope. It's an assist from you and Bully Ray, essentially, is that I agree to have Bray Wyatt not wrestle for a long period of time. Really build up this character. Because you got to think about it. This is the first time in a long time where we've been excited about Bray Wyatt. Really, he was world champion. That was great, but nobody really cared about that entire thing. There were worms at WrestleMania
they
screen the whole day.
botched it, yeah.
But this is a portion of which there is a cerebral thought process through everything. And I thought to myself, what is it about horror movies that I enjoy? It's not that there's just one person that has to stop him. It has to be everybody that stops him, because he's either superhuman or he knows how to beat everybody. What you need to do in the next 6 months, I don't care so much about having him beat people in wrestling matches. I don't even want to see him really wrestle. I want to see like what they did with Kane when he first started in 1998. He just interrupted matches. He fucking just beat everybody up, and that was it. Every time his music played, you're like, what the fuck? Have him backstage doing different things where the lights go out. You see him in the back part of the hallway. That's it. You build the suspense of him, and then you get to a point where he's literally either in locker rooms and people are freaked out, somebody's music plays, it's not the right music. Like, little things start to happen where you're like, well, that's not a coincidence. That's not this or that. And you start to wonder, like, maybe somebody's Titantron just starts to morph. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, you give the uneasiness feeling. Have him sit in the crowd just one night. Maybe in the balcony. Just have it, rocking. Have a doll just roll out on the ramp and don't do anything and come back. Have the rabbit be somewhere it's not supposed to be. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you literally can bring everybody on an acid trip and bring everybody up. You can literally put the entire roster on the back of Bray Wyatt by not having him wrestle, and you don't have to put him in every segment, but you could find ways where you go, well, this week it's Apollo Crews versus somebody.
Jinder Mahal.
Sure. Nobody cares. But you could inject Bray into these segments where nobody gives a shit and go, holy shit, that's fucked up. Here comes Bray. Or here's something like, in the middle of the match, it just goes black. Every time we watched a Brood match, all we wanted to see was someone get dunked with blood. We didn't care about the matches. Find what that works for Bray and do that, because that's what's going to make, we don't care about Bray Wyatt the wrestler. We love the uneasiness We love the horror factor. We love the not knowing. The minute he wrestles, you're going to go, yeah, I've seen that. There's nothing new about it. But you can keep people enticed by making him like the grand master of Raw or SmackDown.
You know what I mean? I just want
I mean?
to piggyback off you for a minute here. Because the one thing we don't see in wrestling now is that, like, big boss heel. Like, it was kind of Lesnar for a while. It's like you work way up to get to him. Like, Bray could be that big boss that you never actually see fight, but he's like the end game.
Yeah.
And then you can build towards that.
Sure.
So, I like that.
To go back to it, Batman has the best rogues gallery, the villains he's ever faced. And now I'm super in Batman because the whole going down the black hole.
Where's my nerd button?
Yeah, no, right? Like, but he had so many different people to fight. He didn't fight the Joker every week. The Joker was the guy he fought forever.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I don't want him to say, there were so many people, and he said on Twitter, he goes, I'm sorry for what I did to all these people. You know? And I'm thinking to myself, like, think of all these feuds he already has built in. I don't want to see the Roman Reigns feud because you know that's going to be the moneymaker. I want to see that down the line. Because that's, to me, that'll solidify where he is. But you think of all the other places, you know, he has Daniel Bryan. He has Rowan, if he had to.
Orton.
Randy Orton. Like, he's got SmackDown built in half that roster where he can deal with people, you know? And it's just like anybody and everybody.
Finn
Balor. He can do so many things with so many people. Matt Hardy. He can do everything he wants. But it will work. Because it'll be different this time around. Because my hope will be that these people are like, this ain't them same motherfucker, dude. This guy's fucked up. Right? So you do that. You don't have him wrestle. Be a sideshow. Be a grand master of like just spectacle. Everybody in the...
Not Sexay?
Not Sexay. He's gone with us. Peace out. But anyway, big ups. But when you go to a circus, there has to be a ring master. There has to be a man that entertains you, a man that says, this is over here in the center ring. Let's have a sideshow. That's what wrestling is. And I think this yowie wowie monster looking dude who wears a Joker mask and comes out to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, brainwashing children and rabbits and all sorts of things, this would be a perfect sideshow. Let's do it. I'm in.
All right. I like your positivity around this. Because I still have the same concerns, but I like your positivity. I like the deep dives today. You've given it a lot of thought.
Yes.
A scary amount of thought.
Yes.
Yeah, his eyes are like,
Yes.
the bloodshot. He's just like,
I need more cupcakes.
Yeah. Comeback.
Yes.
He's been here for years. I mentioned his name earlier. Worst theme song in the game, but, you know, he gets to steal Sheamus. Now Cesaro gets my comeback. And you know why? Because this is more of the stuff I'm looking for. A backstage promo that makes sense. He goes in there, picking on Rey Mysterio, being like, oh, not even his real father. Oh, it's just like, it's good. Like, Cesaro, for what he was asked to do, did a good job. And what it did, it set up a compelling match that, by the way, if they just came back from break and was like, Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio, would have been like, oh, that's good wrestling, but whatever. But instead, they gave this match a little extra. A match that was, honestly, a great match as well on Raw, because both these guys we know are great wrestlers, but you gave it that next level of layer. And it was simple. It was just Cesaro going back and insulting Rey where it hurts the most. Like, they didn't need Samoa Joe to further that feud this week because Cesaro stepped in. That's what I'm looking for guys like Cesaro. Not everyone has to be in the feud to win a title, to be on TV and be used, for us to be familiar. Like, there's guys that are used as good hands for a reason. It's a rotation. Like Cesaro, maybe he's actually in a feud in a couple months, but right now he's used as a hand or a pawn in other feuds to further them, but it's also some different variety. And the match made sense. There was a reason for it. It gives it that next level. So that gets my comeback because I love Cesaro. We all love Cesaro. He's a great performer. So there you go. I know where this is going. He has a mouthful of good job. Is that your fourth? That a boy.
Yeah.
We know where this comeback was. I didn't mention it in the heat because I was being nice.
It's your birthday. Do what you want.
No. We're in the comeback, so once you're done chewing. That was a big bite.
My birthday, too. My birthday.
I'm just going to fill another minute so you guys don't have to hear him chew.
My comeback goes to Mojo Rawley. Because,
You fucking wolfed that thing. That was like 2 bites.
I'm hungry. And, Mojo Rawley was on television. And, damn, that was a good cupcake. This is the best hope ever. It was delicious.
Comeback.
Whatever. That's what happens when you get 4 cupcakes deep. I think I'm drunk.
Sugar high.
I'm crashing big time. No, but seriously, back to, stop being funny. My comeback goes to Mojo Rawley because he was on television and he
Great reason.
he was the only thing in this week where I was like, this is comeback worthy because there's
What's
literally
up with the fucking paint, dude?
it's not good. It's not good. But
Just want to make sure.
this is it's like I said to you earlier. It's like starting and stopping a car. It's like there's a dead battery and it's on its last legs. And I know I've been on the Mojo cruise by myself for the longest time, and I'm about to hit that iceberg. And you know what? I might as well go down with the Titanic at this point, folks.
Yeah, near, far, wherever you are.
I hate that song, but you know what?
How?
Because it's sad. It's a very sad song. And I don't want to get picked up by YouTube, so let's just move on. Anyway, look, Mojo Rawley, I got to go down with my cruise here. And listen, he's probably not going to go
I see
anywhere.
what you're doing. You go down with your cruise
Yes, there you did.
Because your other guy,
Yes.
who we didn't know was on SmackDown, got, what do they call, wild carded to Raw to literally jump to Mojo in 30 seconds. Oh, man.
This is bad. So anyway, my guys that I both love faced each other in a comeback match that, quite frankly, it was the only thing not to talk about. It's a comeback.
You know what that match could have used? Lars! Save us!
Well, Lars this week was full of words. Thank God they didn't actually have him speak.
Honestly, I thought that was an effective segment.
Yeah.
Just a way to like dial it back a little bit, because obviously people have been they're trying to get him fired. They already fired him $100K, so I think that's a pretty big punishment for a guy who barely makes that. So, but I know
That's
I
the
thought it was a
WWE
nice.
keeping it safe, though.
I thought it was a nice step back with his character, where it was something different. He's still there, but it's just he doesn't need to be at the forefront every week. So.
Well, I just hope he doesn't talk, because the minute he talks, it's all over
That's
for me.
exactly. But he'll talk eventually, but no time soon. Monster it up, bro.
My comeback originally goes to Mojo Rawley. I don't know where the hell we went down that road, but that's fine. Anyway, we are now in the big old finish where it is time for Money in the Bank predictions. There is no NXT, so let's
Money
roll
in the Bank.
to Money in the Bank. Adam Nessel already picked Nestlemania, that is. Nestlemania.
Well, we're not starting there, so you can't say it yet.
Oh,
We're going to
fine.
start on the kickoff show.
Oh, boy.
Which has the added match. It's just a tag team match. It doesn't say it's for the titles, but...
What is it for?
I don't know. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos, because we're wild card shit. I mean, if it's for the not knowing if it's for, it says it's not for the title, so I guess it doesn't even list them as champions. So yeah, it must not be for the title. So give me the Usos.
Usos for Big J, the birthday boy. I'm
Yeah.
going to go with the planet's champions because they're planets.
Okay.
They're a whole galaxy at this point. They're the Milky Way. Now I'm hungry.
The Joe Stopper Invitational, the champion Tony Nese defends against Arya Davari, I always love that guy, so I'm glad to see him actually getting used. I think he's great, but he's not going to win. It's Nese for me.
Nice.
You got nothing to add? I know Tony Nese is your boy.
We share the first 3 letters of our last name, and that's about it. That's all I got in common with the guy.
All right, so we move on to. I would assume both those are kickoffs. Who knows? But singles match for the United States champion. You thought I was going somewhere else.
You swerved.
The champion, dun dun dun, Dominic's real father, Samoa Joe,
Daddy.
defends his title and his son against Booyaka Booyaka 619 Rey Mysterio. Give me the Joe from the island of Samoa.
Feel like Joe should win this matchup, but I feel like Dominic's gonna get involved and like I just.
Dominic maybe helps Joe. First feud: Rey Mysterio versus Dominic.
Yeah, that'd be great in the
Nestle's
custody
hopes
battle.
come true.
Good God, that wasn't my hope.
I know.
It's never been my hope.
Nestle's nightmares come true.
All I wanted was him to choke out Dominic. If anything,
He might.
I hope it's
Maybe
Joe.
Dominic will choke him out and help
Give me
his dad
Joe.
win.
Give me Joe. Give me Joe or give me death.
All right, I like it. So, like you like to say, I'm just going in order on Wikipedia. Singles match for the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston, SOS, he's going to need it in this match, defends against Kevin Owens.
I'm not even looking. I'm picking Kofi for both of us.
Kevin Owens should win this match, though.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way. You want to know why? They already blew their load and told us everything that's happening for Saudi Arabia show. Sorry, Ray.
Kevin Owens, this feud's going to continue, I think, regardless.
Yeah, sure.
Kevin Owens should win this match.
But he's not going to. He's not going to.
Give me Kofi.
Wow, that was very depressing.
I love Kofi, but I just think for this, like,
chasing is better.
this feud, well, just this feud too. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Especially with Kofi being who Kofi is and having KO say, "Well, Big E's not here. Now I hurt Xavier." And
By the way,
you're
Big E on Twitter is the greatest thing of all time. It's honestly, if you just read Big E's tweets and don't watch the show, it's better. Big E, like, he's fucking flirting with Becky's mom.
Oh my God, I
he's
love
like,
that.
He's like answering people. Someone said, send me a picture. He sent someone a picture of his nipple because she's like, I want to trade boobs with Big E. He's like, you go first. It's just like, he's fucking great. Like, this man just, he's great. Great. I can't wait till he comes back.
Okay, moving on.
Steel cage match for.
Oh, you got to be so excited about this one. Your
The
favorite
Miz
guy again, the
versus
least
Shane
favorite
McMahon.
match.
I think the Miz has to win this, right? That's all I got to say. He'll probably fucking walk out. Shane's gonna try to walk out the door. They'll probably have Miz climb so he can have the iconic shot of sitting on top because he's a fucking badass. Miz and Miz is still the best show on TV. Better than this match.
You ready for this? I'm picking Miz, but I think that there is an outside chance.
McMahon, just like the guy's fucking undefeated. He fucking got the pin on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Miz, but there is that outside chance that I think Shane McMahon is going to have either B-Team or the Planet's Champions or Elias or whatever else he's doing with his stupid stable, his spoon-fed.
Well, here's what's going to happen. So the
Silver
B-Team's
spoon.
going to come out and try to help him through the door. Then Papa Miz is going to come out and slam the door in his face.
I doubt that. Are they in
George
Cleveland? No, they're-
Mizanin.
George Mizanin. By day, a man who owns a Mr. Hero. But at night, a man who owns a Mr. Hero and helps his son, who's actually a hero. Moving on.
Also, sidebar, before we continue on, what do you think's the main event of this pay-per-view?
I'd imagine either the men's or
the
women's.
men's Money in the Bank, I think.
Men's
yeah.
or women's Money in the Bank.
So I'll try to put that last, but we're struggling here. So now we have the two women's matches. First, I guess we'll start on Raw.
Ooh.
Becky Lynch, the last kicker, defends against the lady, Lacey Evans.
That was horrifying what you just did there. That scared me. Even.
I want Lacey to win so bad.
You want. You want.
I need Lacey to win, but I think Becky wins this one.
Ooh, Becky wins this one. I'm picking Becky to win both. There you go.
Ooh, I'll go there next because I'm taking Charlotte.
Whoa.
Is she going to be 10 or 11? I can't even keep track anymore. They happen so fast.
The shovel will be denied. It will be denied, Josh.
Okay.
Who the fuck is Josh?
This could be continued because someone could cash in depending when that match is.
That's the thing. That's the added bonus.
Yeah, but
As
give me-
Danny said,
give me-
DQ knows what he's talking about.
Give me Char.
I already wrote you down for Shar.
Becky's not even on SmackDown
Char
anymore, so why
Banks.
does she have that title?
Char
next up,
Banks. You don't
a
even-
singles match that no one knows exists. Roman Reigns against Elias. I mean, from now on, I'm picking Roman Reigns in every match ever. I mean, I would do a lot more for Elias to steal a ring here, but like we thought the same thing about him. If he ain't beating fucking McIntyre, you think Elias is gonna fuck Roman.
Elias is the biggest acquisition in SmackDown Live history.
Yeah,
That's what Vince McMahon said.
because everything Vince McMahon says is nothing but the truth. So help me God.
He's gonna hell. I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, you ate a lot of cupcakes.
Yeah. It's there.
Well, we gotta finish the program before you get sick. So
All right, anyway, we are like way deep into this anyway. All right, anyway,
that's what she said.
I'm going to pick Roman. Roman Reigns.
Next up is a singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. Also forgot this was a match. Seth Rollins, who never wrestles anymore, defends against AJ Styles.
Give me the woman, Seth Rollins.
Kingslayer!
The Becky Slayer.
It's not a coincidence that they both love fire and that they get along really well. They're just fucking two pyros having a good old time.
Sure. Good on him.
Yep, yeah, it's Sethy boy.
He just won. You're not going to have him lose to Brock Lesnar.
Does AJ turn heel in this match?
Does anybody care?
No. But, well, I mean, it would be better if he was a heel.
He's
officially.
already heelish.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
This
Seth-
one does not entice me whatsoever. And the match will be phenomenal. No pun intended. It will be.
I agree with that.
But I'm just going to be going up into the middle. Honestly, it's the reverse Samoa Joe. We've talked about it before. It's just the lead up
true.
does not matter. But the minute the bell rings, I'm going to go. AJ Styles has my attention. So does Seth Rollins. You know, I love me a good Haas fight. You know,
I'm with you.
Two studs, but God, it's like it's going through mud just to get there.
Yep.
So
Next up, we have the Money in the Bank ladder match for a women's championship
Ooh.
contract. We have Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Bailey. I forgot Bailey's even on the fucking show. We
did
haven't
you
seen her
just
in 3
snort
weeks.
Alexa Bliss?
I didn't mean to. I just.
Wow,
love Alexa
subliminal.
Will she have clothes is the real question because she keeps forgetting her gear.
Maybe it's in the briefcase.
Then hashtag Mandy Rose, Mandy in the Bank. I did the hashtag out of place. Ember Moon, who barely has been on TV, and Carmella, who has barely been on TV. We know you're picking Mandy Rose.
I already wrote it down. Yep, it's a thing. Danny already put it on the website. I don't even have a chance to write anything else down. Are you going to go against your better judgment, or are you going to go against your better judgment?
Well, we can throw out Naomi, Natalya, and Carmella, and I'd fall asleep with boredom. Dana Brooke and Bailey, meh. Alexa Bliss, been there. For me, it's Ember and Mandy, two of my favorite women on the roster.
Mandy.
Is my pick.
Really?
Yep.
Going for broke.
Yeah, Mandy in the Bank. I've been predicting it since like November, so I'm sticking with it. She deserves it. She's a stud. And you know, Sonya's gonna prop her up until she doesn't need her anymore. She's gonna kick her to the curb.
There is an outside chance this week that if Mandy Rose does this,
I'll bring the shirt for you on Wednesday. You can wear it while we record.
I may be a fan of Mandy Rose after this week. I don't know. We'll see.
I think you're already there.
Maybe.
You just need the icing on the cupcake.
I think I've had too many. Oh, God. I'm going to vomit. Anyway,
All
let's
right,
move on.
Money in the Bank ladder match for a World Championship contract. It doesn't say men's, it says world. So interesting. The men don't need, a moniker, but the women do. Like, that's kind of sexist. Wikipedia. We got the new edition, Sami Zayn against Pew 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 Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus the stud Baron Corbin. I'll take your order, please. Versus Ali Mustafa. Finn Balor.
The Balor.
The heavyweight. Andrade, Cien Almas, Mr. El Dinero and El Banco. Almost forgot what it was.
El De Niro, El
And then
Banco.
the Viper, legend killing, who wrestled for the first time since WrestleMania, Randy Orton.
There you go.
Who you got? I already gave my pick. It's Sami Zayn. I spelled it out in my hope.
Sami Zayn is for the JC.
Yep.
I'm sticking with the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Just because I feel like it has to happen. It
He's
has
the most
to.
logical choice.
It's right in front of you. Literally in front of you. Just go out and grab it there, Drew. Just go get it. Get it. Get it.
It would be great if Randy Orton fucking won it.
Ugh.
Again.
I'm so done with everybody
I
repeating.
fucking love Randy Orton.
hate that shit.
I just fucking love him. But honestly, he doesn't need Money in the Bank to get a championship shot.
So there you go. There were our Money in the Bank predictions, and that's pretty much it, I believe. I mean, we could talk very quickly about AEW.
Yeah,
if you want.
AEW, it's a real thing. TNT in the fall.
I'm excited for it.
Tuesday nights, it sounds like?
Supposedly, Tuesday Night Dynamite apparently is what the given name
Smart,
was of the
because
copyright, but
one show's going to be leaving Tuesdays, going
Yeah.
to Fridays, which means I'm never going to watch it live. So, my
Yeah.
Tuesday nights will open up because I've already been planning to watch bad wrestling. So there it is.
wow. So you think there's going to be bad wrestling on Tuesday
No,
nights?
I don't. I'm just saying
think-
that's what it is now.
I'm excited just to see the sports aspect of it. They were saying they're not going to have like convoluted soap opera kind of stuff. They're going to do more sports-oriented kind of stuff, which I hope that's true, but logic would
if
dictate
they
that
need
all-
some analysts for
Yeah.
their programming
Absolutely.
on Fox or TNT, we're talking about both companies here. I know a couple guys.
It's true.
I don't know who the fuck Josh is, but JC's available.
Yeah, JC's available.
Mr. Nestlemania, Adam Nestlemania, as
That's
you said.
true. Nestlemania. It's
Yeah.
so good you cuddle with me. Yeah, that's great. Look,
No one said that. No.
nestle means cuddle. Anyway, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to give everybody a little bit of a different taste, a little different flavor, if you will. And I'm excited. I've always been an AEW guy, so there we
I'm
go.
a Cody Rhodes guy. and
Considering
so
AEW
got
hasn't
my
started,
attention.
I'm an AEW guy. So there we go. Now we're into, I believe, taking it home. So if you want to do that, please take it home, JC, birthday boy.
You know what I want for my birthday? You to socialize the pod.
Really?
Yeah, you got enough sugar in you.
Oh, boy. Okay, let's do this. Jobberknocker.com. It's a .com. That's where you can see all the links to the podcast that I'm not going to talk about in this particular instance, but that's fine. We also have amazing work done by our boy, the Joe Stopper, for 205 Live. The Real Deal B. Cox takes you on a journey overseas for NXT UK. It does it every week. One of my favorite reads because I quite frankly can't keep up to it. And then our boy, TJ of the JK. Can't say enough good things about TJ. He handles the gold and black brand, or the black and gold, gold and black, whatever you say.
black and gold
the
might be
man that
going to the
lives
Stanley
in
Cup.
Florida, covers things in Florida. I love this guy. He's doing a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a whole word. I'm out of gas right now, folks. But go to jobberknocker.com every single week. Those guys got you covered. Those network guys are fantastic. Go and definitely give us a 5-star review on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, whatever. You're throwing me off. iTunes, Podomatic, Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, and Archive. That's right, every episode, from now on YouTube, because I'm not going back yet. That's happening. And also, make sure to like everything we do on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Like that on Twitter or Instagram. We're everywhere we want to be on social media. I am out of it. Make sure you follow at Jobberknocker, at Nestlemania, at JC of the JK, at DQ of the JK, at Ray Ray of the JK. Oh boy, at Billy D 2411, at Joe Pollock 47, at The Real Deal B Cox, at TJ of the JK. Did I miss somebody? If I did, I suck and I apologize.
At Baron Corbin WWE.
There you go. We are literally all over this damn place. I have gone way too far. This thing is so deep into it. I'm 4 cupcakes in. My name is Nestlemania. Now it is his time, birthday boy, to say what you want. We're getting out of here.
Mandy in the bank. Shorty, what you drank?
We'll be back
Mandy
next
in the
week
bank.
with more
Shorty, what you
Jobberknockery.
drank?